Hey, so welcome to the Fitness Business Authority podcast, and we're up to episode 6 today. And today we have Paul Mort on board. Paul, do you want to say hi?
Hola! Yes, hi. I do want to say hi. Yes, hello.
Yeah, so Paul promised me that he definitely would swear today, so expect some colorful language.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. So Paul's one of my original mentors when I was working as a personal trainer, bootcamp owner. And he's one of the guys that's been pretty present in my own business success for a while. So I wanted to get Paul on here and talk about what he's doing. Paul, do you wanna let everybody know what you're currently doing?
Here's what I'm currently doing, right? Because I know we normally start with a backstory at this point, right? But what I'm currently doing is this. Yeah. I'm taking ambitious men who are a little bit lost, struggling, tired, and stressed. I'm taking those guys, and through a series of online programs, live seminars, and immersion experiences, I'm turning them into unstartable bastards. That's what I'm doing right now. We currently have 120 active men, and we're seeing results that I never thought I'd see. And this is just a result of me completely turning my life around, turning my business around, turning my relationships around, turning my body and my health around, turning my mindset around. It hasn't happened by accident. Obviously, it's very purposeful what I do, but I never thought we'd get to where we are right now, which is kind of cool.
What do you mean by unstoppable?
Unstoppable basically means that whatever shit gets thrown at them, whether that's from themselves, their own stories, their own excuses, their own limiting beliefs, whether that's from family, friends, foes, work colleagues, random people on the internet, whether that's through health issues, whether that's through just stress and overwhelm, they're able to just say, good, bring it on. Shit's going sideways? Oh, good. She didn't buy from me? Good. Wife's going to leave me? Good. What am I going to do about it? I'm fat. Good. What am I going to do about it? I didn't work out today. Good. What am I going to do about it? That's what I mean by startable. So basically forging almost what I would call mental resilience and increasing their ability to deal with stress, because stress is coming whether you like it or not.
So it sounds a bit like personal responsibility.
Kind of, yeah. I think people can take a lot of personal responsibility for what's going on in their lives, but they'll deal with it in a different way. So most people, rather than increase their resilience to deal with stress, they will try and relieve stress, i.e. masturbate, drink, eat junk food, smoke weed, snort coke, take pills, take anxiety tablets, sedate in social media, hide watching videos on YouTube, etc., etc. So most people will do that. They'll take responsibility for what's happening, but they'll relieve stress. Or they'll do the other thing. They'll take responsibility for what's happening, and they'll, what I'd call, avoid stress. So they want a result, they want to change their result, but they don't want to put more stress into what I'd call the stress pipe. So they just settle. That tends to be the three things that happen. So either you can increase your resilience to stress and your tolerance to stress and your ability to deal with stress. You can try and relieve stress. In other words, you can release it through whatever your various vices are. And 3, you will settle and avoid stress. So you'll hide. The unfortunate thing is all 3 of those things kind of do the same thing, but only one of them transforms your results on the other side. So yeah, great question, dude. Great question. I wasn't expecting these questions. I was expecting the normal, the old boring podcast questions.
Well, I was reading a book a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it was called. It might have been The Subtle Art of Not Giving.
Great book. Yeah, great book.
And one of the things he said was that good stress or bad stress, it's basically the same, but it's just a warning sign.
Yeah.
So bad stress is a warning sign that you've got to take action, and good stress it's a reward for taking action.
Nice, yeah. Well, one of them is almost one that you choose. I mean, you kind of choose both of them, but ones that you choose. So one of the things that we see happen is we'll get guys come in who we'll have them all set outcomes over 90 days. We'll still play a 90-day game. We'll call it the 90-day transformation. Now, what happens in here is we'll have guys that play small with their outcomes, and I'm sure you've got guys listening who set really small goals so they feel like they're winning, and they still fail. Now, what tends to happen here is if you play small and you set these kind of goals that aren't that scary, then you basically, when big shit comes along, it destroys you. So my ability to deal with big shit now is, in my opinion, outstanding. I can just say good. Now, here's the only reason why. Because outside of the things that just come along and the shit going sideways and things just coming up, so events that are out of my control, when they come along, they're easy for me to deal with, because outside of that, I choose to take on challenges that require me to be more than I currently am. Does that make sense? So because I take on challenges that challenge me mentally, physically, emotionally, and I have to stretch myself, those things require me to be more. So because I'm required to be more, I get better and better and better. So when other shit just comes along, circumstances, it's like, is that it? Whereas most people avoid choosing. So what I'm saying is I actually choose stress. I choose stressful situations. I choose situations that force me to stretch myself, that require me, or that seem beyond my current ability. I choose situations that seem beyond my current ability. So even if I don't hit them, they've still stretched me to a point that when circumstances come along, I'm like, meh, whatever.
So I've got two questions on that. So number one is, how do you deal with it if you're setting goals that you don't reach?
But that's a great question.
And another question, if you know that you're not going to reach those goals,
yeah,
what do you do if you don't have a belief that you're going to get those goals?
Beautiful. Okay, so I'll cover the first one. So we're setting these goals and I haven't hit it. Okay, that's a very cool question, because no one ever asks questions like that. Okay, here's what you do when you don't hit your goal. What did you hit? That's it. So we do something called an experience transformer, right? And the question, in fact, I've got a little sheet here. Hold on, I'll show you it. This is something that I learned from a mentor of mine called Dan Sullivan. And we basically look at this. Okay, what worked? What did work? So that didn't work. It's easy to go into this. What we've got to do in this situation, Liam, in any situation that involves outcomes, is remove emotion from it as much as we can. Because emotions, especially weak emotions can actually overpower strong facts. We get sucked into fantasy land. When it's in here mentally, it's always an issue. It's emotional. It's bullshit. Your mind will show you all sorts of things to show you how much of a loser you are. It'll bring up things from the past. It'll make you doubtful going forward. And that's why people stop setting goals. So what we're going to do is remove emotion from it and get it out of here, capture it and get it on paper. So the first thing we look at is, okay, what was it? What was the outcome? What worked? So what worked chasing down this outcome? Not what didn't work yet. What worked? And what that does is, what you'll see is, well, actually, I didn't hit 100 grand this month. Example, I aimed for 150 grand in the last quarter and I only hit 96. So it's fucking 60 grand short. 60 grand short, that's a lot of money. But guess what? It'll be easy for me to say, I fucking failed. It's fucking 96 grand better than fucking nothing. So what I'm doing here is I'm not comparing actual results with ideal results. That's the number one mistake that people make on a daily basis, never mind a 90-day or a yearly or a 5-yearly basis. They compare actual results to ideal results. Now, here's the problem with ideal result. The ideal result will always move away from you. It's like the horizon. It's always going to move away because you'll always want more. As you grow, they still move further away. And the thing is, it's got to be there. Otherwise, you have no goals. It's got to be there. Otherwise, you have no inspiration, nothing to work towards. The problem is that if you compare actual with ideal, you'll always come up short. Pretty much always. Because even if I hit 150, you'd still be like, maybe I could have done 200. Oh, I've done too much work. Oh, I've got all these people in there I don't even like. So you could end up there. So the first thing we do is we'll look at, okay, what are the actual results? What are the facts? What are the facts here? You got to look at, instead of measuring forwards, measure backwards. It's a very simple concept. Because 90 days ago, I was at 0. And sure, I would have made some money, but I made 96. That's all right. It's all right. So what worked? So I can put in, I hit 96. I can take the facts then and be like, okay, well, what worked in this? Well, what worked was when I sold things that were more expensive, for example. What worked was when I ran a webinar and sold 25 seats at $1,000 a pop. What didn't work? I didn't run another webinar. So the first question is what worked? And I have a slot of at least 5. You can see I have an actual form, and I use this all the time. I actually use this for things that aren't monetary. So it can be, okay, I ran an event. Okay, what worked at the event? Well, going 30 hours worked. What else worked? What else worked was having lunch a little bit earlier before we went and had fights. What didn't work? Well, what didn't work was the time that it took in between X and Y, etc. So we're going from what worked and what didn't work, okay?
Can you just let everybody who's listening know what you mean? I know what you mean by having fights, by the way, but the guys what that is.
So I have this theory that you don't know who a man is until he gets punched in the face. And this is one of the ways to test where you're at physically, mentally, to see how you react to getting punched in the face. So one of the things that we do inside of an experience that we have here called Unleashed, which is mind-altering, like mind-altering. I've never seen anything like what happened in the last one. And I've ran, that was probably the 8th one I've ran. The first one in that format, I've never seen, you could see people transform before my eyes. And one of the things that we do is we put men in a combat situation to see how they react. So fighting, yeah, fighting.
How do they generally react?
Well, I had a dislocated shoulder and a broken nose this time around. They react okay because I tell them to bring a gum shield. So they kind of got some idea how, but here's what's interesting, right? This is what I mean by mental resilience when I was talking about being unstoppable and having mental resilience. You'd be surprised how many times when you put yourself on the line, you actually come through. Do you know how many times you come through when you put yourself on the line? 100% of the time. The problem is with people that don't put themselves on the line because they're scared of not get it crossing the line. And then they also don't create enough urgency around it, but we'll maybe talk about that later. So we have what worked, what didn't work. So how do we keep our confidence together? How do we learn from it not working? Okay, well, what worked? What did I actually hit? And which pieces of the process actually worked? What didn't work? What didn't work? We're looking at facts. Okay, what didn't work? Not just I'm a failure, I'm so shit, fuck this, I may as well give up. Remove the emotion. Remove the emotion. Get the facts. Then we're looking at, okay, if I could start this thing over again, if I could start this experience again, knowing what I know now, what would I do differently? And then again, I've got 10 slots, 10, 11 slots. And this is a process that just slows the whole thing down, gets you out of your own bullshit, gets you out of your pity party. And then, now that I've got all these improvement ideas and all these things that I could do again, just create a new strategy. Okay, what strategies am I going to in place to make that happen? And then just set another outcome from there. And here's the thing. This is a strategy that I apply even when I have hit the outcome. Because I can still say, okay, what worked here? What didn't work? How can I make it better? It's that simple.
So you said a minute ago that you did this in other areas of your life, not just in business.
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples of stuff that you do?
Oh, well, I do a lot of crazy shit. Let's just do then, let's have a look at this quarter. This quarter's outcomes. I'm going to hit that 150 grand. I've said it again. I know what needs to change.
Yeah.
I am going to do something called the fan dance, penny fan. It's the original SAS selection route. I'm going to do it with 30 pounds on my back. And I'm going to have a 6-pack while I do it. Kind of 2 separate goals. I am going to do this thing called the Infinity Bridge, which is, it's called the Infinity Bridge because you can't see the other side of it. It's like it's one of those single wire bridges where you just walk across like a piece of string with your hands on the side, like in between a gorge. So I'm doing that. That's a mental challenge for me. What else am I doing? The other things are I am dating my wife. I date my wife weekly and I date both of my kids individually weekly. But I'm taking my wife on 3 kind of experience dates rather than just going for food. So we're going skiing. We're going surfing / paddleboarding. That'll be warm. And we're going indoor surfing as well because we've got one of them now up here. Then I am doing the same with 3 of my kids. We haven't decided what we're going to do with them yet, but we're going to do 3 outdoor adventures with them. And then, that's it. So 150K, penny fan, Infinity Bridge, and then those dates with the wife and kids. And then there'll be something fun at the end of it for me. Yeah, and all of this, here's what I want to throw in. An example of this is, I'm not prepared to do any of this without sacrificing my current lifestyle. So with the business thing, the hardest part for me isn't making the money. It's making the money working, not giving up me 3.5 days a week work. I'm not prepared to do that anymore. I work Monday till 3. I work Thursday till 3. I work Tuesday till 4. And I work Friday till 12. In fact, 11:45 because I have to pick the kids up at 11:45 on a Friday. And that's challenging for me because I know how to make money. I know how to hustle. I know how to outwork people, but I've done that already and that's exhausting and it's not a fucking business model. So now I'm having to do it by managing people, which is a real stretch out of my comfort zone. I'm so used to being a one-man band, Liam, as you can imagine, or a two-man band in your case. I'm so used to that delegating is difficult for me, especially when it's delegating coaching and shit. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said that because I mean we're up to what, number 6 now on this, and the overriding sort of factor that everybody has mentioned, and this includes me as well because I do 2 half days so as I can spend some time with my kid.
Yeah.
These people, these successful people, are not willing to sacrifice their lifestyle, the stuff that they do outside of their business, for more money.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, most of them, they've already done it at some point in their life.
Yeah.
They've already burnt out. They've already got fat. They've already had relationships that have failed. They've already got sick. They've already had some kind of mental fucking disaster. Or they've had a financial disaster before based on the fact that they hustled so hard and something's fell apart for them. Or, you know what's a funny one to me, Liam? Everyone always says this, and this just keeps popping up for me at the minute. It's in my mind at the minute. A lot of people say, you know, when you have kids and that, and they start getting a little bit older people will always say to you, Paul will be up before you know it. Everyone knows this. Paul will be grown up before you know it. And no one ever does anything about it. I'm like, what are you waiting for? I have this thing where, listen, I'm not waiting until I've got a certain amount of money in the bank to have experiences with my kids. I'm big on experience with my kids. We'll do all sorts of shit. All sorts of crazy shit. I'm not waiting to do that. I'm not willing to. Why? Because one day they're going to be 16 and hate us. One day they're going to be 16 and I'm not going to be cool enough to hang out with anymore. I actually think I might be different there. But one day they're going to be 16 and not going to want to hang out with me anymore. And one day I'm going to die. So what am I waiting for? To have a certain amount of money in the bank account? I mean, listen, you've got to have money to do certain things. We're going to Tenerife in 2 weeks. We're going to Thailand for 2 weeks in August. We're going to Dubai for New Year's Eve. So you got to have money to do shit like that, but it doesn't have to involve that. This quarter, those 3 things I mentioned with them, they'll all just be outdoor things that don't really cost anything, apart from time and attention, which is what they really want anyway.
Yeah, I take our little guy swimming twice a week, and then he does lessons on a Sunday.
Yeah.
His gym membership is 10 quid a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me anything to take him swimming.
We've got swimming tonight and then jiu-jitsu straight after. And the biggest challenge is getting them out of the swimming gear, dried in the gi, and then to jiu-jitsu, which is a 15-minute drive away. I've got 30 minutes to do the total thing. And tonight's my first time doing it on my own. So yeah, they've been warned. I told Nina will just be in the car with a swimming costume on and a towel around her, I think. I don't think we'll get her changed.
What do you find all the time to do all this stuff? Because you sound like you're really busy.
Well, here's the thing. I don't find the time I create it, right? I don't find the time. The thing is, dude, I think as a one-man band as well, we're in this position where we have a lot of freedom and flexibility, but it's fake. It's not real. We'll have this false flexibility that we create, which is like, oh, well, I can just do what I want, so I'm just going to put it off. I'm in a position where I can't do that because I promised my kids I'll be finished at 3. And I'm not going to say to them, oh, Daddy's not going to be able to pick you up from school today because I've been fucking around on Facebook this afternoon. I'm not going to do that. The great thing about kids is that they'll hold you highly accountable. If I'm telling my kids I'm going to do something, they are never, ever, you're going to learn this soon, they will never, ever let you forget. You can't make passing comments with kids. They will never forget. So that's great about them. So I have this time, but I've created it, and I've created it through, do you know, obviously a lot of self-employed people in here. When you go on holiday, that week you get so much done because there's a sense of urgency. I just create that urgency every day. That's all I do. I create the urgency every day. And I have now, because when I realized that, I think it was Ballantyne said this ages ago. It was a long time ago, and Jocko Willings took it on, etc., which is structure creates freedom. Structure creates freedom. Everybody that tells me they haven't got time can't show me the schedule. Everybody that tells me they haven't had the time Can't tell me where it's gone. Where has it gone then? Where's it? Show me your schedule. Oh, I haven't got one. Or it's just full of white marks. If your schedule's full of white gaps, that's code for fucking around. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to dick around. That's it. That's where I get the time from. Listen, I am busy. People say, I know you're busy, Paul. I'm like, listen, I don't think I'm choosing to be busy here. Because what I realized a while ago as well, Liam, is that people like entrepreneurs are creative, right? Who have a creative intellect. And that's why so many of us suffer with anxiety, etc., because we're creative. So when we take time off, I used to hate going on holiday, right? So be on my phone. You see it all the time with fit pros. They're on their fucking phone all the time when they're on holiday. I'm like, dude, put your phone down, man. Be with them. Oh, this is my office for today. Your office for today? Dude, your family around the fucking pool. What are you doing? And I know for a fact you can't see your screen because I tried seeing my screen in the sun. Don't work, right? So, where was I? I'm off on one now. I'm off on one. What was I talking about?
Going on holidays.
Going on holidays. Yeah, I used to hate going on holiday because I'd be just completely, I'd be disconnected. I'd be wondering what I could be doing, what I was missing at home. I'd be all paranoid that I was going to miss something.
I always have my best ideas on holiday, so I always take a notebook.
Me too.
Me too. Take a notebook.
I was sick all last week. I had this thing called a parvovirus or something and a broken nose at the same time, which isn't fun. Having a snotty nose that you can't blow because it's broken is one of the worst things I've ever experienced. I felt like Gonzo. You know Gonzo?
Yeah, from the Muppet Show.
Gonzo off the Muppet Show. Dick nose. So because we have these creative mindsets, right? The more blank spaces we have, the worse it gets. Because listen, guys, if we're not solving problems, we'll create them. If we're not actively solving problems, we'll create problems in the space that we have in our diary. Space in your diary is space for you to tell stories, fuck around, and invent problems in your head. This is how I solved I used to get panic attacks on planes, in lifts, in toilets, in trains I had to take diazepam. You know how I fixed it and solved it? I just started having problems that I had to solve when I was on a flight. No shit. Normal people who aren't creative like us, people who have anxiety have a high creative intellect, right? Everyone. Because they're inventing problems. Think about it. It's not logical to be anxious about being on a fucking plane. Nobody else is really anxious. You know, some people just sit there. We can't just sit there because we'll invent problems. We can't do that. That's why the white space in the diary is such an issue for people.
You'll know the answer to this, but Tim Ferriss has a name for this. It's where he says that you'll always fill a task with the time available to do it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So don't create deadlines. Self-imposed deadlines. You know, like the ones you give your clients? If PTs are listening, you got your clients on deadlines, but you don't have any.
How do you keep yourself accountable to your own deadlines, though?
Well, that's a good question. I don't just have me that I'm accountable to now.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of guys who I'm accountable to because I'm not a fucking hypocrite. If I'm struggling, I'll make it public. If I'm struggling with an outcome, I'll make it public. That's why I have fights. That's why I got into boxing. I took a fight because I'm like, right, I'm not going to piss around with this anymore. I was kind of half in, half out. Fuck it, I'll have a fight. Let's go, champ. You know what I mean? That's when I know, finally kicked this kind of drinking and coke habit that I had. We got a fight. Fight 2016, I had my first fight. Fuck it, let's go. There's no way I'm going to get drink and do whatever I used to do on weekends when I've got a fight coming up. No way. Because I'm not prepared to get fucking knocked out in front of my family and friends because I didn't train hard enough. So it's just creating different levels of accountability across the board. The last outcome, I spent about a month pissing around with nutrition. I'm in a position now where training is not a problem at all. I do anything now. And I actually love training. I never thought I'd say that. I bet you didn't think you'd hear me saying that. I miss it if I can't do it. So anyway, I was struggling with my nutrition. And the problem that I had in this position was that with outcomes, it always comes down to leverage. The more leverage you've got, the more chance you've got of hitting it. But in my fitness, the outcome was a six-pack. But I was in the best shape that I've ever been in. I was already in the best shape I'd ever been in. But I didn't have a six-pack. So I was already fitter than I'd been for a long time. My body was harder than it had been for a long time. I was healthier than I had been for a long time. So I was struggling for leverage. Okay, why do you want a six-pack? And I failed at this so many times. You know this. I failed it so many times. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get a six-pack just because I fucked up at it so many times and I failed so many times. I'm going to prove myself wrong. And a month in, I hadn't. So I just made it public. I made a public declaration. I'm going to have a six-pack by this date every day. I'm going to post in here every day. I'm going to send my trainer a picture of my nutrition and my training and my weight every day. And I kind of got there. I mean, I wasn't completely shredded, but I got there.
I remember you telling me too, I can't remember, it was last year or the year before, that you wanted to go out on stage at Body Power.
But funny enough,
shirtless.
Funny enough, dude, I was supposed to be meeting, you know James Smith, right?
James Smith?
James Smith.
No.
Oh, you don't know who he is? Oh, dude, James is like a huge deal in fitness at the minute. He's got like 250,000 followers or something. He's making bank with daily email. So he takes people from his followers, Instagram and Facebook, and he's fucking hilarious as well.
Yeah.
When you watch him, you'll know that he's been in with me before. You'll know straight away, right? Actually, when you listen to him, you'll know he's been in with me before. But anyway, I'm supposed to be meeting him tomorrow because he's speaking of body power. And this weekend, I would actually be like, yeah, fuck it. Let's take the top off.
So
let's go, champ. Let's
probably isn't going to be going out to June. Body Power is this weekend in the UK.
It is this weekend.
And you go into it?
No, I'm not, dude. I'm taking Mrs. Mort away tomorrow. That's why I'm not meeting James anymore, because I'm taking my wife away. I had to tell him, listen, she's got better tits than him, so.
We're gonna have the censors all over us on this. We're gonna be banned.
Well, dude, listen. You know the deal, man. But here's what we're doing here, right? We're just having a conversation, and this is how I talk.
Yeah, and this is the one thing that you've always I've always learned from is that you got to be yourself and you got to talk in your own language.
Yeah.
And I can always tell when if we've got a client and they've worked with you, I can always tell that they've worked with you because their lead magnet is sign up for my famous daily emails. You're not Paul Mort.
Yeah, you're not. And then emails, bro, definitely aren't famous. Yeah, it's a funny thing, you know. It's a funny thing that works both ways. We'll say be yourself, but that doesn't mean say fuck all the time.
Yeah.
People think that being yourself means just say fuck all the time. I'm like, it doesn't. Just be yourself naturally. It shouldn't feel like an effort. It should literally, whatever you do, email, Facebook ads, whatever, should just feel like a natural conversation. Obviously, for ads and shit, you're going to have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it should just feel like a natural conversation. And it doesn't have to. Here's the thing, it doesn't have to. But I've already been in a position where I had clients that I couldn't fucking stand because I felt like I was walking on eggshells around them. I couldn't be myself. You see people who have one profile for work and one profile for personal. I'm like, are you a different person in both of those areas? Fuck me, dude. Come on. Listen, I don't want to take money from people that I wouldn't hang out with. It's exhausting. For me, that is unprofessional. No shit. That is unprofessional. I'm taking money from people that I don't even like. Really? That's unprofessional.
That is the fitness industry in a nutshell.
It is. Yeah.
But we've all been there.
We have all been there. Listen, I ended up almost having a meltdown because of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, this is like, seems to be the cool thing to do on social media is to swear.
Dude, the new cool thing is bragging about how much you drink. That's the new cool thing. No shit. That's the new cool thing.
Hang on, have I missed that? Have I missed that one?
Dude, you've missed it. Yeah, you've been too busy doing actual work.
I thought it was that people were getting up at 5 a.m. to work.
Oh, that's always been the case, hasn't it?
The 5 a.m. club.
Yeah. I actually get up at 5:30 now, but it's just so, well, I finish at 3, so I couldn't give a shit. The 5 a.m. club people are also working until 10 p.m. They don't tell you that much.
Yeah, they are, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's this sort of authenticity that people are talking about. And when you're around people in this industry, you see a lot of people trying to be authentic, and you just know it's fake.
If you have to try.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, if you even mention the word authentic, I know you're cheating.
Yeah.
If you don't have to mention it, you've clocked it.
Yeah. And if you have to call yourself a badass, you are definitely not a badass.
I call the men in my program badasses, but there's no way I'm going to call myself a badass. Why? Because if I said that in my boxing club, I'd get me fucking jaw smashed.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes if I said that here in South Shields, somebody would pull my pants down. Someone would keg me. You know when you get your pants pulled down in public? I'll get my pants pulled down.
So you go from badass to being on your ass.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time it's happened.
Listen, buddy, where can people find you if they're looking for you?
Well, here's the fun part of this, Liam. And I always say this, but if they're still here, that's a good sign. Because people that are offended are probably gone now. They've probably gone back into that free Facebook group.
Yeah.
They're probably talking shit about me in some free Facebook group somewhere. Yeah. they're probably doing that. Talking shit about me and Joe Wicks.
Did you see his article in the Guardian this week?
No, but I did hear a quote from it. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Actually, I did see it. I saw a paragraph in it, which I thought was great.
He was basically saying that most of the crap that he gets and all the negativity is from other personal trainers.
Yeah. And you know why they do that? You know why people attack people?
It's them reflecting their own feelings.
To make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
He makes them feel bad about their business, about their life, about their body, about the lack of followers. So their lack, he becomes the target for their lack and insecurity. Yeah. That's what changed. Realizing that, because listen, I get a lot of shit. You know this. I get a lot of shit. I literally don't even notice it now, because I know that people are just trying to make themselves feel better, and that's their job. That's literally a #1 product. Nothing is more important than how you feel. That's why people attack other people. Period.
You've changed. I remember the day you would have gone on some sort of a 3-day rant.
Oh yeah, 3-day rant followed by a 3-day drinking binge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, dude, I get it. I wouldn't like me either if I was you.
Anyway, listen, let's wrap up because I know you've got to go and pick your kids up. Where can we find you?
You did ask that question already. Sorry, dude. I went off on one. I did go off on one, but you assisted me in that. So you can find me at unstoppablemanproject.com. That's where you can get on my email list. That's where you can watch my old documentary. Or you can just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and all the usual places. I'm just having a play with Instagram. I must admit, I'm not a giant fan of it so far.
We've just started using it ourselves.
And you know what? Do you know what, though, Liam?
Yeah.
You know why I don't like it? Because I end up getting sucked into the stories. Like, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spending too much time in it. Secondly, what I don't like about it is to be relevant and to get any kind of result from it free. I mean, listen, I'm prepared to spend money. I'll tell you a story on the ads in a second.
Yeah.
To get anything free, you have to seem to be on it all of the time.
Yeah.
I'm in the story thing. I'm like, fucking hell, has this guy just had his phone in his hand all day? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, really? Listen, I get it. And the thing is, I'm not hammering them because I'm actually watching that story because I find it entertaining. I can see why people would do it.
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm not willing to do. I kind of like to have the time and the capacity to do it, but now I'm like, listen, this is not work for me. Yes, I might get a few more followers, but I've also got a family, and I want to finish at 3. But the third piece is my last webinar. We actually got from the story ads, we got 50 pence leads.
That's good.
50 pence leads. We got about, I'd say, 150 pence leads before it started dying out.
Yes.
In the stories, in the story ad piece of it, the other way is not as effective in the feeds, not that effective, but the only problem was, especially for me, is your message has got to be 15 seconds long. Imagine me only talking for 15 seconds. Dude, honestly, it took me about 20 shots to get the ad right, but people are losing the shit. They're like, Paul, how are you getting the swipe up option when you don't even have like 10,000 followers or whatever it is? I'm like, I'm prepared to fucking spend money. I'm prepared to invest to get a return on investment.
Hey, it's a plan.
That, isn't it? You know why? Because I'm in business. This isn't a fucking hobby. This is a business.
Oh, man, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get a word in today.
Dude, I get excited.
Last question. I've been asking everyone this. If you could recommend one book and one book only, what would it be?
Easy. Love and What Is by Byron Katie.
I knew you were going to recommend that one.
Dude, there's a bunch of other shit that I could recommend. I've read a bunch of shit recently. You know what I have been reading?
Yeah.
Tony Robbins' first 2 books. One from 1986, one from 91.
Oh, they're dated.
Dude, seriously, I'm loving them. I'm loving them. Honestly, I picked one up and I was like, actually, you know what? I'm loving this. Unlimited Power and Awaken the Giant Within. But Byron Katie, Love and What Is, destroys all of them.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to pull one out of, if we can find it very quickly here. Where is it?
I heard there's a good one called Clarity.
Ah, there we go. The Clarity Project. Have you read
Clarity
it?
Project, that's it.
Have you read it? I know you've got it. But have you read it?
I've got a list of books like that to get through, man. And I don't rush. The thing, you know what, as well, Liam, now we're talking about books. People rush books, right? I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, I don't care how many you've read. Tell me one thing from each of them that you've actually learned and implemented. So you speed. What's the point in speed reading, by the way?
Yeah, I tend to be more audible these days and listen to stuff in the car. But I was at Ranley's Mastermind a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, sweet!
And I found an actual Amazon bookstore in New York. And
shit, really?
I was like, yeah, I've got to go in there. And I came across this. It's called "Unfuck Yourself" by a guy called Gary John Bishop.
I heard about that yesterday, and apparently, is it banging?
It's really good, yeah.
Is it? The title's great.
Yeah, the title's great. It's a great read. In fact, I've even downloaded it on Audible as well. So this is what I tend to do. Read a book, get it on Audible, and then...
Me too. And you know why? Because when do you drift off a little bit sometimes when you're on the Audible?
Yeah.
And I love to make notes. If I make notes, it goes in at a deeper level.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't tend to make notes on the Audible. Dude, I love that. I'm going to get that today. If it's marketing, dude, what would be your #1 marketing book right now? I'm going to surprise you here with mine.
#1 marketing book right now, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller.
You know what mine would be?
Go on.
This about, have a guess.
The Game.
No, but that's very interesting that you've said that. No, it would actually be the one that's changed my business the most in the last year. Expert Secrets.
I've got it there, but I haven't read it.
Dude, is that surprised you?
Book that I picked up in the Amazon store. And Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Really? Holy, dude, you're going fucking old school here.
Going old school.
You know the funny thing, dude? That a lot of these books will come from those anyway.
Yeah.
The Robbins ones that I've mentioned, he's probably got it from Jim Rohn. How to Win Friends and Influence People has probably hit Tony Robbins has probably stole some shit from there.
Yeah.
And then the other one, Think and Grow Reach, every other book from then has probably came from them.
Yeah. It's all the same. It's the same message.
Everything else is the bastard child of those books.
Brilliant. Anyway, listen, buddy. Listen, we need to close up because I know you've got to.
I have to go and pick those little the little shit bags up.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. I really appreciate your time. We'll see you guys next week. This has been episode 6. Take it easy. Bye.
Thank you, Liam. Appreciate it, buddy.